I said, I don't care what happens in relationships with men or whoever you decide to give your heart to and be in love with or whatever. I want you for the rest of your life to have these 3 things solid. All right? Y'all ready? I said, as long as you got your own house, as long as you got your own transportation, and as long as you got your own income, it don't matter what a ninja got to say. Baby, he can leave, he can fall dead, and you gonna be a stable for the rest of your life, all right? Y'all better not let these men fool y'all. It's more stable women than it is more stable black men, all right? All right, baby, let's speak out.
Say, I told you to do Biden. Now we done lost a damn vote. We done lost a vote. That's gonna go to Trump. Damn.
I'm worshiping these people like they're God.
Ain't nobody worshiping them. But damn it, Chris, we need somebody in there with mother sense.
You didn't even vote for Biden. You didn't vote for Biden at all.
He vote independent.
Okay, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? You know what I said do when you go in there. You go.
That's what I did.
No, you didn't. You go in there.
This shit funny.
I told you. I said go Democrat Biden. Now there's a vote that we done lost that can go to Trump.
This is why I don't do politics. I will never do this again.
He said he ain't gonna vote again. Oh.
Last week, Marvel had a red carpet event where they premiered Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It was exclusive to cast members, members of the press, social media influencers, and invited guests. One of the people selected to attend was a YouTuber named Grace Randolph, who has a channel named Beyond the Trailer. Grace is a sweet lady and a talented content creator. Now, typically I don't put any stock into what's said at these red carpet premieres, nor do I pay any attention to what's said afterwards, because they aren't screenings. They are promotions, publicity stunts. The goal is to gather earned press by inviting people who will rubber stamp the project. People are selected for their tendency to play ball, co-sign whatever the studio puts out, so you rarely glean any useful information from watching these events. Now, the movie debuts on November 11th, and there's a moratorium on reviews until the 8th, and while I was not there, so I don't know what the movie is about specifically, Grace was, and I thought she made some interesting points.
But this movie, I think, is doing everything right. And if anyone has a problem with this movie, they should look at why that is. They have a problem with themselves. Now, one of the groups this movie lifts up is women. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is extremely female-centric. 70% of the time, it's all women on screen. It's just all women. It's incredible. It's funny to see this follow the woman king. We'll talk about that in a moment. These are just strong, capable women who are acting like people. People first. People before gender. That's an ideal world that I want to live in, and I loved it. I didn't even realize it was almost all women until about halfway through the movie. And again, I think this is a great film, and I love all the characters in it. But then again, I'm a woman, so I loved it. Could M'Baku's role have been bigger to maybe offset this? Yes. He's hardly in the movie at all, which I did think was a surprising choice. Probably not one that I would have made. Because look how upset some people got with the Woman King, accusing it of many things, but one, some people were upset with how strong the representation of women were, and they felt in place of men, which was ridiculous. But Woman King only did okay at the box office, so we'll see if Marvel can expand the appeal of a similar type of story, which again is mostly women, but with good male characters. Very occasionally. Of course, there's Namor, who is just oozing masculine energy. But again, 70% of the time, it's mostly women on screen. But this movie, I think, is doing everything right. And if anyone has a problem with this movie, they should look at why that is. They have a problem with themselves.
Yes, she did use some sign language, which I do not like. But she also said, the movie uplifts women, female-centric. Most of the time, there's only women on the screen. And it's similar to The Woman King, which struggled financially. Now keep that in mind while looking at this commercial, produced by Target promoting the film.
Wakanda's changed things forever. Now, nothing seems impossible. So how will you share your brilliance with the world?
I put this here, will it work? This centers So the whole thing.
Keep forging your own path.
We still need something.
Keep reaching for what inspires you. And keep shining for everyone to see.
Hey, can I see what you're drawing there?
Yeah, this is a working model for an energy source.
Okay, I see you, young genius.
After all, you never know where you'll find inspiration.
Bye.
To bring the next great idea to life.
See Marvel Studios' Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in theaters November 11th.
Now look at this promotional poster. And let's look at this report from Bounding Into Comics that says, Marvel scaling back Black Panther Wakanda Forever merch plans out of concern that the sequel's lack of T'Challa may alienate black male audiences. And when you add all of that up, with the context that Killmonger and Zuri were wiped out in the first movie, that Daniel Kaluuya's character Wakabi won't be returning, that M'Baku has little screen time, and T'Challa has not been recast, it's obvious. This is a chick flick. Wakanda Forever is a movie about women's empowerment. This movie was not made for black men, so why should anyone be surprised that black men may not be on board? Again, I haven't seen the movie, but Grace Randolph is a reliable source. Bounding Into Comics is a reliable source. And Target didn't create that ad for nothing. I'm sure they have some inside information on what the film is about. And this has been the history of Marvel for the past 3 years. Just look at their previous projects. Captain Marvel, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Eternals, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, that corny scene in Avengers Endgame where you had the ladies show up to save Peter Parker, the introduction of America Chavez, the gender swapping of Taskmaster, the heavy promotion of upcoming series featuring women like Agatha Harkness, Ironheart, and Echo. Marvel is all about showcasing strong women. That's been the entire theme of Phase 4 of the MCU, so much so that it's now called the MSHE-U as a pejorative, and it's been a disaster. And that's primarily because men, who are the primary demographics of these films, have begun to walk away. As for black men, in regards to Wakanda Forever, we've been dealing with this BS for decades. Just look at the content that's been targeted towards the black community over the years. Deliver Us from Eva, Waiting to Exhale, Set It Off, Hidden Figures, Self-Made, Us, Ma, Queen and Slim, The Equalizer, Woman King, and every Tyler Perry movie that has ever been made. You can go all the way back to Aunt Esther in Sanford and Son, but those are just a few examples. The Sapphire, the argumentative, combative black woman is an overused trope, and we're getting tired of seeing it. We're getting tired of seeing loud, rude, angry, aggressive, mean, strong, domineering black women in authority or in conflict with black men, and having it being celebrated in Hollywood as if those women are some type of heroes or role models for black girls. Now, I'm not saying any of the women in Black Panther are loud, rude, angry, aggressive, or mean, but they are strong, domineering, and masculine. And now that T'Challa and all the other men of Wakanda are gone, they get to showcase their masculinity because they are now in the leadership. Now, I can hear someone saying, well, isn't that how things are in the black community? Yes, it is, and we don't like that. We're trying to figure out how we can get away from the dysfunction that these matriarchal family structures have brought us. We're trying to get back to the days of our grandparents, the traditional households that were led by men. We don't want to see the garbage that's going on in our community being celebrated. Black men don't like dealing with masculine black women, and black women don't like being described as strong or masculine. We don't want that to be our narrative, to be perceived as normal, and definitely not extrapolated out to the rest of the public as a template of how a family should be. That's why so many of us loved Black Panther, because it was an homage to black masculinity. T'Challa was a king. Killmonger, despite being a villain, was very much an alpha male. That's what Black Panther, the original, was. But now it looks like a celebration of black female strength, which means it's like every other movie that's been targeted to the black community. So yeah, I can totally understand why black men would not be interested in this, and quite frankly, why black women wouldn't be either. Now Disney, I'm certain, isn't blind to any of this. Again, phase 4, the phase of the strong woman, has been a disaster for them. They've seen the receipts, the lack of revenues. They know that Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk were a colossal failure, but I'm also sure they've done market research, as well as focus group screenings, and they are well aware of the fact that black men feel alienated, which is why they're cutting back on the merchandise. Now, with all that being said, I still believe Wakanda Forever will be a success. It's got too much marketing, earned press, and the reputation of the previous film working for it, as well as people curious as how they're going to handle the passing of Chadwick Boseman. But the question is, how big of a hit will it be? Because it doesn't have the same type of buzz that the previous film had. The previous film was supported by a great push from the black community. There were memes, people renting out theaters, having cookouts and panel discussions, and cosplay. The market demand for the first film was organic. This one doesn't feel like that. It feels like a corporate created push to generate demand. It's almost as if Marvel is anticipating this film not being able to live up to the prequel, but we'll see. As the date draws nearer, I get more excited to see it. Again, I want to like this film. I want to be proven wrong, but I'm not liking what I'm hearing. And I'll be interested to see what the reviews would be like on the 8th. And by the way, I'd like to apologize for that because that was a huge error that I made in the previous video. I thought the moratorium would be lifted on the 1st. I was wrong. It's the 8th. And this will likely be the last video that I do before I see the film because I'm tired of speculating. I want to see what's up. Now, if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment in the comment section, and share the link on your social media pages. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you'll get alerts every time I upload new content. This is the Layman's Journal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm out. Congratulations on making it to the end of my video. Please feel free to check out my channel. I may have some other content there you may enjoy. Here's one of my favorites. So I watched 2 projects over the weekend. One was She-Hulk and the other one was Dragon Ball Super Superhero, or DBS Superhero. I was going to review both, but I'm not big on reviewing an entire series just based off of one episode. Plus, you can tell just from the short clip, it's another rendition of feminist rage porn. So why bother? I figured, what's the point complaining about how terrible the MCU is, and why not do something positive? Talk about a movie that I spent the summer anticipating. So, DBS Super it is. So what can I say about it? Well, I can tell you right off the bat, this movie is not for everyone. If you're not a fan or at least familiar with the Dragon Ball franchise, this movie, as well as this review, is going to be confusing to you, as I'll be mentioning characters and making references to things that have happened in the past that only a fan of the franchise would know. Normally, I try to explain these things, but with 575 episodes, 24 movies, and nearly 100 volumes of content spanning the better part of 40 years, there's no way I can put everything in proper context. Not just in one video, it would take a docu-series to do all of that. But as for the movie itself, I'd say it's a throwback to the old days of Dragon Ball Z. This is Piccolo and Gohan at their best. DBS Superhero redeems their legacy as characters.